Hello, my name is Indrek. I am the co-founder at AlphaBlues. I'm happy to welcome you to our fourth webinar already on the topic of virtual assistants. And what we will do today is we'll talk about WhatsApp. We'll talk about virtual assistants in WhatsApp and how you can utilize them, what they are, and if it's a thing for you or not. So let's get started. I will share my slides as well. So how these webinars run, if you haven't taken part before, is that I will go through the topic. First, I'll talk a bit about the company, and then I'll dive straight in. I'll keep the talk to about 20 minutes to be very concise what you guys are looking for. If you have any questions, just ask those in the questions or chat page in Livestorm, and I will answer them after my presentation. And I'll make sure to go through all of them. So if you have any questions, just let me know. In terms of our previous webinars, if you go to YouTube, we have our own channel there. Search for AlphaBlues AI. And you will see all the webinar recordings there. You can replay them and watch them on whatever device you wish. So there's plenty of content out there, and we'll make more. So if you have any thoughts about topics that you want to see us cover, let us know. We've been doing a lot of work in virtual assistants and can provide information on a lot of topics. Briefly about the company, just to set some background, and I'll touch this very briefly. Is that we have been automating communication and messaging for the past 3.5 years. We are a startup company based in Europe and have a very strong expertise in machine learning and data science. We have built virtual assistants, or we can also call them chatbots, for enterprise customers. And our chatbots do 250,000 conversations each month with actual people. So we have deployed solutions at scale, and we see how communication and also interaction at scale works. From our side, we have built our own end-to-end product, and it covers two parts. One is the chatbot part, where you can make your own chat widget or window. You can put it in your intranet, you can put it in your website, or we can connect it to WhatsApp or Slack, something I'll cover in this session as well. You have the whole conversational interface builder, where you can easily, through a non-technical UI, build dialogue, and you can also train it through our own AI. And also we have the live chat product. This is for when chatbots get stuck and they cannot help people, then the conversation is intelligently routed to customer service agents. We also want to contribute to the community. So during the start of the COVID crisis, we actually built a Coronabot, Coronabot.co. It was also featured in CNN. It was a chatbot, but it gave information about the virus. So these are the things that we have been involved in, and we see that our product can actually help the community. And the product was completely free to use for anyone. So let's dive into WhatsApp, because this is the topic that many of your listeners are most likely interested in. So let's first cover the basics, and then go through how to build a virtual assistant in WhatsApp. So usually chatbots are deployed on websites. This is what we see with our own customers. Website is the channel where brands usually interact with their customers. I mean, many of them, like telecom companies or banks, have their email address is there, the phone number is there. So if people have a question, they come to the website and reach out to the customer service. So you put the bot on the website through a chat window to help visitors or convert them. Now, why WhatsApp is interesting as a channel is just its size, and it's enormous, right? So as of last year, it had 1.6 billion monthly active users. I think now it's probably close to already 2 billion monthly active users. It's a bit bigger than Facebook Messenger. So it's the most popular messenger app in the world. So clearly, if you're looking to engage with your customers, then the people you want to target most likely are in WhatsApp, right? And the popular messaging apps differ country by country. But as you see, most of the world is green. So on this map, green indicates that WhatsApp is the most popular messenger app. Blue is Facebook Messenger. So while I'm talking about WhatsApp, bots can also be deployed into Messenger. So actually, you have a choice of how to engage with customers. So there are some subtle nuances, but I won't go into these in detail. But suffice to say that you can target automation on both platforms. So digging more into WhatsApp, and if you're a business, then how can you engage with customers? There are two parts. One is the WhatsApp Business app, and the second option is the WhatsApp Business API. Now, in this talk, I'll mostly focus on the WhatsApp Business API, but I'll also briefly now talk about the WhatsApp Business app. So WhatsApp Business app is suitable for small businesses. Essentially, you get a new SIM card or a new phone, and you link it to your WhatsApp Business app, right? And then from there, customers can interact with you, and you answer their queries through the WhatsApp Business app. The main drawback of the WhatsApp Business app is that all the chats have to be answered from that one SIM card manually. So as a small business, you have one phone, and then all your customer communications goes through that phone. What you can do is you can generate a custom URL. You can spread it in social media, put it on your website. So when people click on it, then they are automatically redirected to have a chat with you in WhatsApp. And this is great. And of course, you have things like you can broadcast content to your contacts. You can send automatic greeting messages, and also you have quick replies. However, all those things happen from that one SIM card, so that one phone. So I think this is suitable for small businesses. But if you have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of customers, then of course it's very difficult just to pass that one phone around through your customer service agents. So in that case, you turn to WhatsApp Business API. And this is for large companies, and this is automatable, right? The key thing in WhatsApp is that once you open up that channel, you will have a lot of traffic. So how do you handle that traffic is the question. And WhatsApp Business API is for that. The key thing to remember with WhatsApp is that users have to send the first message. So you cannot reach out to people without them sending you a message first. So you cannot just go through your CRM and then just reach out to those who might have a WhatsApp account. People have to opt in to receiving messages or then send the first message, and this is important to get. So turning to point number 2, and so this is like, how can you make a virtual assistant in WhatsApp, right? So number 1 point is to decide what you want to achieve. What's your goal? Do you want to provide customer service? Do you want to have a channel where your customers can reach out to you 24/7? Do you want to give them automated updates on their order status, for example? You have to decide what you want to achieve. But it's important to note that you have to promote this channel to your customers so that they know that they can get in touch with you. And one of the things I think, if you are, and I'm talking now, this is applicable for larger brands, right? So if you're a small business, then I think the WhatsApp Business app is good for you. But if let's say you're an insurance company or a telecom or a financial services company with hundreds of thousands or millions of users, then you have to understand that if you open up this channel, what it will do is you will open up asynchronous communication, meaning that people will message you and then they will do something else, and then they'll check back in an hour or 2 hours if they have received a reply. And they expect the level of service, at least the level of speed they are usually accustomed to in WhatsApp. So if you don't answer like in a few hours, it's not that good, right? You have to be very quick in this channel, because this is the expectation that people have in WhatsApp. It's not like email where they get an answer in 3 days and it is fine. So you have to decide what you want. The second thing is that to use the API, you actually have to find a business API partner. So not everybody can connect to WhatsApp. It's not open to the public. Facebook has around 30 companies around the world that they have partnered with. So you have to go to the Facebook partners page and find the company that actually has access to the API, right? And there's plenty of them to choose from. After that, you need to have your own virtual assistant. You can build it, with us or other chatbot companies, whatever your choice is. But you have to have a virtual assistant that's able to handle incoming conversations. I'll show examples later on what we have done, so you get an idea of how the virtual assistant actually works. But the virtual assistant in WhatsApp, why it makes sense is that most likely your customer support will be flooded if you open up WhatsApp, because if people have questions, they ask right away, and it is a very convenient channel to ask things. So your agents not only then have to deal with phone and email, now they have to deal with WhatsApp as well. So if your team's not ready to the increase in the number of incoming customer service requests, it makes sense to have a virtual assistant in the front to automate the communications. And then last but not least, if the virtual assistant is unable to help your customers, then you can link those to your own customer support or sales agents. And the pricing is also involved. It varies, but WhatsApp differs by two message types. And this is also important to understand. So one is the session message, and this is essentially communication between your company and the user that is from the last 24 hours from the last received message. WhatsApp charges no money for this, but the business partner API companies, some of them charge money for it, right? So this is, the 24 hours from the last message. You can actually, the user sends you. You can have a conversation. Now, when that 24 hours has passed, then you as a business can still get in touch with the customer. However, you have to use the WhatsApp template message. So this is a pre-approved messaging template, and it's mostly for updates. So it's mostly for like, hey, we received your order. You ordered food with us. It's on the way. Here's a receipt. The money we transferred you has transferred. Stuff like that. You cannot send marketing messages. So you cannot, just send a blast to all of your customers saying, hey, our shoes are 20% off. Buy them now. Like, you cannot do that. And the template messages, WhatsApp charges some money based on the country you're involved in, and also the partners charge. So it really depends on volumes, but there's some cost involved. So let's see some of the examples that you can do in WhatsApp. But this is the stuff that we have built. So this is in WhatsApp. We built an AI assistant. You come in and you say something, a greeting. The bot says back hello. And then you ask a question like, who are you? So the customer questions are in green in this case. And then it says, hi, my name is virtual assistant. So here you have a virtual assistant that is capable of understanding natural language, and it responds with relevant information. This is a text-based communication, and it's instantaneous. It's available 24/7, whatever the customers ask. What you can also do is, let's say you come in and you say, I want to open an account. Let's say it's a bank. Then the bot provides you information, but it can also answer with not just with text, but also with links. So you can include links in WhatsApp, and you can actually also use buttons to make the navigation and finding information easier for the customer. So you have a lot of options to make this dialogue, relatively rich, looking like something that a customer service agent would do. Of course, with virtual assistants, you never have them pretend they are humans. You always say they are virtual assistants, but they can have the conversation so that it feels like, it's not just like a dry robot they're talking to, but it's actually a meaningful conversation. Some of the things we also suggest to have with the virtual assistants is WhatsApp is a menu, because some people like asking things in free text. They ask, I want to open an account. But some people like to choose things from the menu. And if you're a company, most likely people reach out to you for a variety of reasons, but there's clearly like a top 5 or a top 10 why they reach out. So you can provide that information in the menu, and you can say, hey, if you want, let's say you want to open a bank account, or you have a question about credit cards or loans, then people can select those things with buttons or by just typing in the number. And then, let's say they type number 1, and then they can get information about how to open a bank account. So it's an alternative to free text conversation. Again, some customers prefer to have a free text conversation. Some, prefer to go through a menu. So it makes sense to provide both. The AI that we have works in all European languages, plus Russian, plus Arabic. Here's a question in Arabic, and the virtual assistant gives an answer in Arabic as well. So, if WhatsApp is really suitable for if you have a global customer base, because it's at least in the Middle East, is one of the most popular communication channels there is. So different parts of the world use it pretty heavily. Some of the things that we've also been doing is that actually you can send voice files to the virtual assistant. So you record a voice file and you send it, and then the virtual assistant converts that voice file into text, and then understands the meaning of the text and provides you an answer with text. So with users, many users in WhatsApp, they are accustomed to sending voice messages. So you can encourage actually your customers to do the same thing, and they can use it easily. Also, it's possible to send location and find points of interest near you. So, if let's say you want to find an ATM somewhere around you, then you just send your location and you can find ATMs or shops, or, if you have physical locations and stores, the bot can send location of your stores to your customers and their opening times, for example. So it's actually very handy to find that kind of information, and with minimal clicks from the customer. So this was some of the things and elements you can build in WhatsApp. And last but not least, who is this for? Who is this suitable for? I think if you are a small business, then clearly it's a good channel to have that personal relationship with customers. If you're a large business, then it's a channel where you can be where your customers already are. Not many brands have initiated customer service in WhatsApp. There have been various marketing campaigns where WhatsApp has been used, but I think as the world turns more into messaging, and messaging apps are one of the most popular apps there are. They are used, dozens of times per day. Then if you want to serve thousands of customers and have thousands of chats per month, then the WhatsApp API is definitely for you. And what it can provide you is that you can reach customers in a channel where they already are. For you as a business, it might require time to set up, to get accustomed to responding, interacting with customers quicker than you might, usually do. But it's a channel where those customers are. And I think if you can provide that type of communication, it's actually very valuable, because you don't demand your customers to fill out some forms or send emails to some addresses or have them call you at certain times. You are in the channel where customers are, and I think this becomes very important for companies who want to build a strong customer relationship and show them that they really care and that they are in the channel of choice for customers. But you need automation, because as a small business, if you have that one phone, you can answer those a few dozen conversations per day easily. But to do that at scale, you need to be smart about it and have some level of automation. Otherwise, your agents will get flooded with requests. And also, this is, as a business, it's an opportunity for you to create a new communication opportunity. So you can show your customers that you are there. Plus, you can send them relevant and personalized updates. If they order something from you, they will get a notification. You can send them that your shipment is on the way. You don't have to send it to their email. Then that email goes to spam, and then it's lost, and they don't know where their orders are. So if you're smart about it, there's a lot of benefits you can have by bringing your communication to the channel where your customers already are. So with that, I will end the presentation. If there are any questions, then feel free to type them in the chat or in the questions pane, and I'll make sure to answer that. One of the things that we have been looking at is, Facebook Messenger is a channel that opened up already a few years back when the whole chatbot craze started. And I think one of the lessons learned from Facebook Messenger was that usually people in there are more for, let's say, entertainment reasons. And when they have a question for the company, they usually go to a company website, and then they either call or send an email or chat from that place. With WhatsApp, I think the tide's changing a bit, because Facebook Messenger, when it started with bots, that was 3-4 years ago. Now messaging is people are more accustomed to messaging each other on those platforms, and also I think they are more ready to have conversations with brands as well, because they have seen how easy and quick it is to use WhatsApp or Messenger, for example. And I think that the main thing for customers in those channels is that they know they will get a reply quickly, right? Because with an email, if you send info@company.com, you might receive the answer in few days, and it's asking you for more information. With messaging, the expectation is you get an answer in an hour, in 2 hours, or instantaneously, really. So this is something that I think now companies, the messaging as a channel is ripe for being used at scale as well. Okay, let's see if we have any questions from people. Okay, so we have a question. Do I get any analytics from WhatsApp bot? Yes. So the analytics that you get from WhatsApp is you will see the number of conversations that people have with you. And this really depends on the chat automation platform you are using. So some of the things that we are capable of measuring are things like what topics people ask, because the bot, let's say, is taught 50 or 100 topics. So you will see the most popular topics that that people are asking, and then from there, you can have insight into maybe people want some products or services, or maybe there are some things about your service that they like more or like less. You will have insight into that. You will also have information about how they communicate with you, and what type of keywords are used, what phrases are they saying, how they communicate with you. Let's say if you have a marketing campaign, you can see like how well it resonates with your user base, or what's the sentiment of your target group in terms of that. And if you hook in your customer service agents, then you will also see how quickly your agents respond, and then also you can measure how happy customers are with the answers they get in WhatsApp. But yeah, if you think about virtual assistants in WhatsApp, and you're working with a chatbot provider, then analytics is something that's clearly important, because you want to measure, much like with any digital marketing that you do, you want to measure the efficiency of that channel. All right, let's see if you have any other more questions. And also one of the things that why we wanted to have this brief webinar about WhatsApp, and there's definitely more that we can cover, is that we are seeing that there is increased interest in this because brands realize that customers are now, more digital than ever, because many of their stores and storefronts and shops are closed, or at least people are hesitant to visit because of the crisis. So an efficient communication between you and your customers is one of the ways to stand out, really, especially in the domains where the products that companies are offering are relatively similar. Let's say fintech companies, if you're providing loans or credit cards or insurance, then your product is mostly the same, but it's really the customer experience that matters, and you can stand out from the crowd. So something to think about. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you all for joining. I hope this was useful. If there is any feedback, feel free to send it to us. hello@alphablues.com. Always happy to hear from you. And I will see you in our next webinars in the near future. Until then, take care. Bye.